Hi folks, another video so soon. Yes, well, it's the garden. I had a little bit of a problem. We were thinking about buying some tomato clips and I can't find them here. So I thought I'd have to try and make some. They're quite easy, I would say easy tomato clips. This is some of the wire what I bought for trees. It's quite thick. I think a little bit thinner would be better, but it's plastic coated. And I just made these. I made a little jig. I've made about, I think I've probably made about 20. I've been putting tomatoes up. But I also want them for me cucumbers, and I've got a melon as well. Not a melon, a pumpkin. That pumpkin what I'm trying to grow to carve. Well, I want to try and grow that vertically as well because I ain't got much space. So I come up with these. I'll show you how I made them. I made a jig and how I attach them to the tomato. So you can adjust it up and down a string or a cane, which it works well on a cane or a string. Or a fence even, you know, nets. So anyway, I'll show up now and see how I did it. Nice to be nice. As I said, I made this little jig, and basically what it is just a bit of old scrap, and this is about 30mm, 3 centimetres, but a broomstick could work, I'm guessing. It's just I had this, so I used it. I cut an hole in it, put 2 holes either side, and I've glued and screwed that in, but I don't know whether that's necessary, to be honest. Wire I'm using obviously quite heavy gauge. What I'm doing is though clamping it down onto the table. So that's the one that I did by hand. So it's a bit small, and it takes quite a long time. So I made this jig. I made a couple by hand, and I thought, why not make a jig? Screwdriver in there. It's just a bit of cane. Could be 2 bits of cane. Could be 2 screwdrivers. This is wire what I'm using. This is what I bought for trees before. I know what I'm doing, wrapping it round that way. Around there, behind again. Just have to push it down just to get it to bend. So this is a bit thick, probably. Could go a little bit thinner. Although I did try with that, and that's too thin. I was just worried about it pulling. Although it works. By hand it takes a bit of time, but with this, I have to flatten out a bit after. I know they're quite cheap, but well, I've just seen 1,000 on the internet for $12 US plus shipping. I don't know how much that is, but like obviously they'll be. I'm guessing they're sort of throwaway, using once and then throw them away. Alright, 1,000's a lot, but these potentially, being careful with the wire, these potentially last for years. And they work quite well. I've just put a couple on, just tried some. I'll probably need about 20, but these will last 10 years probably, providing I pick them up. Probably now. I can make a few and just finish them off then, which basically pull my screwdriver out, pull my cane out, makes it easier. And I've got that. And how I do it, I'll show you how I string them up. And then all I'm going to do is just hook that up that. And that's it. All I do is put it on my tomato, put my tomato in, hook it up, and pass loop through the string. I'll show you how I do that in a sec. How I found best way to put these onto the string is, I think this is called a cow hitch. I didn't know what it was called, I'd have a look, see what it was called, but I think this is probably a double cow hitch. I've got a loop, and what I'm going to do is put it through once, twice through the middle, and not pull it too tight. I can put my tomato holder on, like so. This string's not fantastic. Like so. And that holds. In a minute this will move up pretty freely up and down. But once I pull that tight, not tight, it holds it in place, and that can pretty much hold, that's weight of my arm now, so it's locked. And if you just give it a little bit of a pull and spread it out a bit, you can move it again, but it'll lock down nicely. You have to pull it quite tight to lock it down, but you're actually on. I'll probably break the string before I pull it off, in fact I nearly have. But that's how that holds on. And on a cane it works even better. And on a piece of cane, again, you have to have your loop long enough. I mean, I don't know how long that is. I have to play with it, hang on. That loop's about 13 centimetres to knot. So about 26 centimetres of string. But it just gives you enough play to go around what you want to go around. That's a single cow hitch. And that holds really tight, so if you're growing up canes or anything like that, it'd work. Or even if you were just growing up a trellis, not a trellis, a net, and you could just hang it into your net. But as I said, I'm quite pleased with that. I would go for a little bit thinner wire, the plastic cord. This is how it's mounted on, just onto a string, so I can slide it up and down, and then just loops it under a leaf stem, so it works really well. And I need it because I'm going to be growing some other stuff vertical. I'm sure they'll last me for years.